Now let's talk about the simple style hack that separates the average guy from the stylish guy, which is hiding your shoelaces. In this video, I'll be discussing why men with style always do this, and most importantly, how to do this in the first place. Now let's start off with how it gives off a cleaner look. So when you hide your shoelaces, it just gives off a much more cleaner look. It just makes you look more put together, more polished. When you have your shoelaces all exposed and they're untied and starting to loosen up, or they have the big knots on them, it just looks a lot more sloppier, not as put together, versus when you hide your shoelaces properly. Even if you have on the most expensive sneakers, if you have them with the big old knots or the sloppy laces that are starting to be loose and your laces all untied, it just looks very cheap and inexpensive. If you notice when you look online or when you go into any shoe store, when you look at any of the shoes, you're always going to see that the laces are hidden when they are showcasing the shoes, just because it looks more cleaner, looks more put together, and fine lines just always look more stylish. This isn't by accident, it's very intentional, and there's a certain reason why these shoe companies and shoe brands always make sure that their shoes are executed this way when displaying them to the public. Timelessness and minimalism. So having your laces properly tucked in and hidden just gives off a more timeless, more minimal type of look. It allows your looks to go with anything. It allows them to be extremely versatile as well. The more distractions you have on your outfit, the more tacky your outfit starts to become. The less amount of distractions you have on your outfit, the more sharper your outfit starts to become. And hiding your shoelaces and tucking your shoelaces properly starts to really decrease the number of distractions that you have on your outfit and really makes your outfit look a lot more put together. When you have your shoelaces properly hidden, it keeps the whole focus on you and your overall outfit instead of just the visual clutter on your laces. If they were to be like bunched up or have a big knot there or starting to loosen up or just have the laces completely untied, it starts to become very distracting. It starts to put the focus on your laces instead of your outfit as a whole. So everything just looks together and comes together a lot better when you have your laces hidden properly. Versatility. It makes your sneakers a lot more versatile too, because if you think about it, once you start to hide your shoelaces how they need to be hidden, you can start to wear these shoes in a lot more situations. So you can wear them casually, but you can also dress them up. This is the main reason why you see so many stylish guys are able to execute sneakers in a casual way or even in a more polished, dressed up way. Tuck shoelaces blend seamlessly with many different outfits without screaming casual gym shoes. Confidence. So when you hide your shoelaces like you're supposed to, it just shows that you know what you're doing. It gives you that instant boost of confidence that you're looking for. It just shows that you pay attention to the little things, to the little details. Most guys overlook these things, and usually most guys are going to have their shoelaces exposed with the big old knots and the whole thing that just looks sloppy when their laces starts to come untied and loosen. It just doesn't look as good versus if you were to have your laces hidden. This type of look is just going to make you feel a lot more confident, a lot more put together, and it's just going to give you an edge over other men. So paying attention to these little things is going to go a long way, and it's going to instantly make you stand out without even saying a word. So it's more of a quiet, subtle flex. Now I get it if you're used to tying your shoelaces the old-fashioned way, the regular way that we've always been taught, but it just causes you to not look as stylish versus a guy who's hiding his shoelaces. There's just a big advantage he's having that you don't have. So I highly recommend that you try this out. Ever since I started doing this myself, I just felt a lot more confident when I can just hide my shoelaces versus when I had the big laces exposed. I just feel like I'm putting myself in a much more stylish type of category. I feel like I'm just standing out from other men. So I would highly recommend you try this out and just try to hide your shoelaces as much as you can. Now let's get into the most important part of the video, why you probably clicked on this video in the first place, which is how to actually do it. So when hiding your shoelaces, the most important thing you want to realize is that this usually only works with shoes that come with the eyelets. Shoes that have more of the like Jordan 11 type of look that don't have the eyelets, it usually doesn't work as much for, because you can't really hide these when you lace them up. So usually it's only going to work on shoelaces that have the more punched in holes or the eyelets, which is like 98% of shoes in the first place, but just throwing that out there. So, all right, let's get to it. So when you are lacing your shoelaces to hide them, you want to lace them how you usually would, but then as you get to the top set of the eyelets there, instead of going under, you want to go up and around. When you go up and around, it lets the shoelaces go into the shoes in a more smoother way, and then it just allows you to bring your foot in without letting the laces come out. When you go under instead of up and around, how we usually do when we're tying shoelaces the old-fashioned way, it makes the laces have the ability to come out, and they're a lot more susceptible to come out as you're walking throughout the day. So by going up and around that very last set at the top of the laces, it just makes the laces go in a lot smoother without coming out. Now, if you want to go a step further to just give you additional security, what you can also do is as you go up and around with the laces, you can also bring up the insole of the shoe a little bit and just tuck the laces under the insole as well. This just gives it additional security. It's just a great alternative if you want to just have the most amount of security. I think you're pretty much good if you just do it the way I'm telling you and just let the laces lay on top of the insole. This works pretty much as well, especially when you put your foot in. It's just going to give you a lot more security as well. But if you want even more security, you can just put the laces under the insole and then put your foot in on top of that to just give it the most amount of security as well. Another thing you want to do is use a shoehorn. I don't think this is talked about enough or covered enough, but it's very important to use a shoehorn for many different reasons. But most importantly, what it's going to do is allow you to just keep the overall structure of your shoe. It's going to keep it in a very healthy, brand new looking type of way. When you try to put your shoe on without using a shoehorn, you start to crush the heel, which just damages the whole overall shoe and structure of the shoe. So especially when you have your laces hidden and you already have them laced up properly so you can just put them on to give you that cleaner type of look, the most important thing you want to do is use a shoehorn. That way your foot can slide in properly. It's going to slide right on top of the laces. So as soon as you put it on, it's going to give you that no laces type of look. Because imagine trying to put your shoes on first and then trying to lace up your shoes to hide them. This just becomes very difficult because you have to try to like wrestle with your shoe back and forth, maneuver your shoe back and forth to get it up and around so you can tuck the laces in. It just allows for just a huge inconvenience. So make sure you're lacing your shoes and doing it this way to hide your shoelaces before you put your shoes on. And when you do put your shoe on, as I said before, make sure you're using a shoehorn. That's it for me today. Hope you got something out of the video. Make sure you give it a like down below. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Peace.